Good morning. Thanks. Good morning. Thanks for joining us today. Today is November 9th, 2022. The topic that we're going to be going over today is Santa Clara County market stats. The house right behind me that I'm using as my background today is a client's place that we have helped them get in Gilroy. Just a fun fact, which is in Santa Clara County, called South County, which is Gilroy and Morgan Hill. There's been a lot of news in the market lately, and we'll just jump right into the stats. So here we go. Let's shrink this a little bit. Okay. So here's we're going to break this down into two sections for the stats. First, we're going to be going over the single family homes, and then we'll be looking at condos and townhouses. The specific stats that we're going to be looking at are the number of homes for sale, number of pending homes, which are homes in contract, the median prices, and the days on market and months of inventory. Days on market, months of inventory kind of go hand in hand. So let's jump right into the single family homes, number of homes for sale. So as you can see, it's pretty, I'm looking back to 2018. You can see it's pretty cyclical here. It goes up and then down, then up, then down. So this is the number of houses for sale in the market. So during the holidays, it kind of goes down and then it goes up towards the spring and summer, and then there's less houses for sale in the fall and winter. So let's just jump in right here so we can look at October, going all the way back to 2018. You can see that last year was super low inventory, right? And so that's why one of the reasons why we saw the prices go up so high. And this year, inventory definitely picked up compared to last year. And if we look back to 2018, before COVID, we can still see that we're still below the amount of inventory that we had back then. But compared to last year, it's definitely higher, right? So if we just look back towards the summer here, 1,400 houses for sale versus 900, right? In Santa Clara County single families. Let's look at the number of pendings. So it's good to compare those. So we can see here that the number of transactions has definitely slowed down, right? So we can see here, it's definitely less than last year and below what we were in 2018, right? So number of pendings peaked for us this year in March, right? And it's been going down since. Now for October, we had 574 pendings. Okay, so now let's look at the prices, median price. Let's look at this chart first. So it's on a slow upward trend with a definite decrease this year, right? So just looking at October, so it's definitely down from last year, right? If you look all the way back to 2018, it's up quite a bit, right? So 1.586 median sales price of single family house versus 1.28. So let me quickly calculate what percent gain that is. Right, so that's a 24% gain. And the other thing to think about, right, is the prices have definitely gone down this year, right? So that we peaked in April at a median price here in Santa Clara County of 1.95, right? Just under $2 million, right? And now we're down to 1.586. So it's gone down, but if you look all the way back to 2018, it's actually gone up quite a bit since then. So now let's look at how long it's taking for houses to sell, right? And how much inventory we have for sale. So this is a very nice stat that I like to look at. So we're still under 2 weeks, right? And we can see here during COVID, it was very low, right? Single digits. And so we've definitely increased the days on market, but it's still in the range of what it was before COVID, right? So it's still a very healthy market, still definitely a seller's market. And we'll see that with the months of inventory we have for sale. So we have less than 2 months of inventory for sale. So looking back, COVID times, right, last year, we had less than even 1 month, right? And that was causing things to go quite high because there was such scarce supply. And now we've actually come up a little bit, but looking back, right, we're still below what we were before. And we can see during the summer, it really peaked, right, at 2.2 months of inventory in July, which is still actually very low inventory. And now we're at 1.5 months inventory. So there's still not that many homes for sale. I think some commentary on this, I would say, is if you're thinking about selling, now might be a good time since inventory is very low, and a lot of your competition will be waiting until spring. And so what that might mean is that there might be a lot more houses available on the market come the beginning of the year, and you'll be competing against a lot of other home sellers. And the other thing to consider as well is the interest rate, right? And that affects the buyer. So if you're thinking about buying now, there might be less choices, but if you do find something that you like, it might be worth it to get into contract and purchase it now, because most likely interest rates will keep rising, right? And so if you get in now when there's less, the interest rates aren't as high, they're definitely higher than earlier this year. That might be something to consider. So let's now look at condos and townhouses for Santa Clara County. So let's start with number for sale. As you can see here, like we mentioned, it's cyclical with the seasons, right? Seasonality. And so now we're towards the holidays and number for sales going down, right? So looking here, we're definitely less inventory available than before COVID, right? 2018, 2022, we only have 471 condos and townhouses available for sale in Santa Clara County right now, compared to 718 in October for 2018. Let's see how many are in contract. I say it's hovered between 200 and 500 here. And so you can see we're telling a little bit different story on the condos and townhouses versus the single families, right? So there's definitely there's less pending than there were in 2018 compared to now. Whereas on the single families, there was less pendings now than there were in the past, right? So that's something interesting to look at. Now let's look at prices. So this is interesting. So we're down a little bit, right, from pre-COVID times on the condos and townhouses, right? You can see this year. So let's look at October, right, 2018. So we're down a little bit, right? 891,000 for 2022 versus 915 median price. And looking at 2022 this year, you can see it peaked in May at 1,060,000, now we're down to just under 900K on the prices. So just to look at how long it's taking for them to sell. You can see it's similar to the single family, still pretty healthy market. Things are moving quite quickly. So despite what you might hear in the news, homes are definitely still selling. So for common townhouses, we're at 16 days on market for October, which is a little bit higher than before COVID, and definitely higher than last year and the beginning of this year, right? So last year was 11 days, and earlier this year was just 7 days, right? So moving extremely fast, right? So the last thing we'll look at is the months of inventory. So here we go on the inventory. So we are definitely still seller's market. So 1.9 days, 1.9 months of inventory compared to 2.3 in 2018. And the reason for last year, right, was 0.9 months. So it's moving extremely quickly. Not enough supply. And we can see that we peaked in July at 2 months of inventory, which is still definitely a selling market. Similar to the single family. Okay, so that wraps up our stats for Santa Clara County. We will be back next week looking at another county, looking at the stats. I think it's very helpful to look at the stats every month, see what's changing, and to compare, what's happened in the past, but not necessarily to predict the future. I think the current commentary is interest rates will keep rising as the Fed is trying to get inflation under control, right? And I think if you have to buy or sell, I think there could definitely be opportunities in our market because there's a lot of changes all the time, every week, every month. And I think it's good to diversify your investments because as we can see the volatility of real estate in the past is definitely less than the stock market and equities. So that's all for this week. I hope everyone has